pleasant good afternoon to all. The Department of Labor is once again pleased to be here to update the nation on various labor-related matters. Firstly, let's look at what the staff at the Department of Labor has been doing to ensure workers' income assistance claims are processed and forwarded to Social Security for payment. Over the past 4 to 5 weeks, the Department of Labor ensured claims from verified qualified applicants were processed efficiently and passed on to Social Security for further verification and payment. It is important to note that this exercise is a time-consuming process, and the Department of Labor has made sure everything is done efficiently and that people affected get their benefits under the Social Security COVID-19 Relief Fund. Over the Labor Day weekend, the Department of Labor staff members were able to process over 1,300 applications. As I speak, there are staff members working from home this weekend processing application to ensure that those persons affected can benefit from the COVID-19 Relief Fund. To date, the Department of Labor Syncits has sent 4,863 verified applications to Social Security. The Department of Labor NEOC has sent 1,981 to Social Security. Together, 6,844 verified applications were sent to Social Security for payment from Syncits and NEOC. According to Social Security, the total sent to accounts for payment is approximately 3,527, or 52% of the applications received from the Department of Labor in Syncits and NEOC. Please be reminded that this payment is for 3 months, April, May, and June 2020 in the first instance. And to qualify, you must fit into one of these categories as a result of COVID-19. 1, you must be laid off. 2, reduce hours, taking your monthly earnings below $1,000. 3, severed or your position made redundant. And 4, a registered self-employed person. The Department of Labor has taken several steps to prevent fraud and people claiming who were not affected by the pandemic. Please to be patient. The payments will be made every day until the 3 months commitment is made. We also hope some people will return to work as the economic activity or lockdown continues to be eased little by little. The Department of Labor is appealing to all employers who indicated in the past weeks that they were impacted by the pandemic to please notify us via email about the present status of your employees as the lockdown continues to be eased little by little. Simply speaking, if your employees who were laid off, they were now called back out to work, please to indicate to the Department of Labor. If their hours have now been increased, please to notify the Department of Labor. The Department of Labor is concerned about the safety, health, and welfare of all workers, even as they return to work part-time or full-time. Secondly, I want to address holiday with pay during the pandemic. It is lawful, it is correct for an employee to commence or go on annual paid holiday during the pandemic. Let me repeat, it is lawful, it is correct for an employee to commence or go on annual paid holidays during the pandemic. Such annual paid holidays shall be given and taken in one period, or where the employer and the worker so agree, in 2 periods, and not otherwise. And every such agreement shall be in writing by both the employer and worker. Employers must not apply annual paid holidays in snippets. For example, on those lockdown days, for example, today is a lockdown day. A worker was scheduled to work today, but due to the lockdown, that worker is unable to work. An employer must not tell that worker to use a vacation day. And if next week we have another lockdown day again, the employer must not tell the employee, take another vacation day. And if another day is the lockdown on the weekend, the employer must not again tell that worker to take another holiday with pay. It must be taken in one period or where there's agreement in 2 periods. Thirdly, I want to address the issue of reduced wages or salaries cut during the pandemic. This situation has been very difficult for both employers and workers. Some employers reach out to the Labor Commissioner's office, indicating their strong desire to keep their staff employed. These employers do not want to lay off their staff or terminate them due to redundancy. The proposed staff take a pay cut for maximum 3 months. The Labor Commissioner's office prefers these workers to have half or 3/4 of a bread during these difficult, uncertain times than to be laid off and have no bread. It is within this in mind that the Commissioner's office has indicated to these employers that we will support their proposal of a temporary reduction in wages for a maximum of 3 months. Let me repeat, it is with this in mind that the Commissioner's office has indicated to those employers that we will support their proposal of a temporary reduction in wages for a maximum of 3 months. Another issue I want to address is employees who are laid off currently. Over the past few days, the Department of Labor has been inundated with calls and queries from employees who were laid off by the employer. These calls surround what benefits are due to them while they are laid off, and if they are entitled to severance payment. Firstly, according to law, no employee is entitled to any wages while he or she is laid off. Number 2, according to the Protection of Employment Act, the layoff period is a maximum of 12 weeks. Thirdly, after 12 weeks, the employee may request his or her employer to treat his or her employment as terminated, and the employee shall then be entitled to severance payment if he or she has worked for the same employer for at least 1 year. The Commissioner's office is strongly urging and appealing to all employees who are laid off. If the layoff period go beyond 12 weeks, we are urging them not to request to be terminated. The Labor Commissioner's office is strongly urging and appealing to these employees that if the layoff period go beyond 12 weeks, that they must not request to be terminated. We prefer to have as many persons employed as possible. As the lockdown continues to ease little by little, the Commissioner's office is optimistic that these employees who are currently laid off will resume work shortly. I want to reassure applicants who have outstanding severance and long service claims at the Department of Labor that these matters will be settled soonest. In conclusion, I want to thank our Senior Minister and Minister of Labor, the Honorable Vance Amory, our Permanent Secretary, Ms. Sharon Rattan, Mr. Maynard and the staff at Social Security, Mr. Gary Leibert, Chief Labor Officer in Nevis and his staff, the staff at the Ministry and Department of Labor in St. Kitts, and to the general public. And I want to wish all mothers out there a happy Mother's Day tomorrow. Thank you.